Chosen one, what I'm about to share with you will open your heart and mind in ways you never expected. If you are watching this right now, understand that it is not a coincidence. God has guided you to this moment because He wants to reveal something powerful to you, something that will change the way you see life forever. There is a deeper reality beyond what your physical eyes can perceive, and once your spiritual eyes are opened, you will begin to see the truth that has been hidden from you. For too long, you have been walking through life thinking you see everything clearly, but the truth is most people live with a limited vision. They only see what is in front of them, the challenges, the struggles, the disappointments, but they fail to see what is truly happening in the spiritual realm. When God opens your eyes, you will no longer be bound by fear, confusion, or uncertainty. You will see beyond the surface and recognize that everything in your life is working together for a divine purpose. God is speaking to you right now, calling you to a higher level of awareness. He wants to remove the blindfold that has kept you from understanding His plans for you. The things that once troubled you will no longer have power over you because you will begin to see the bigger picture, God's picture. Your struggles are not meant to break you. They are shaping you for something greater. But in order to walk in divine clarity, you must first ask, Lord, open my eyes. Before we go deeper into this revelation, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit the like button to help spread this message to more people who need it. Second, subscribe so you don't miss more divine wisdom that will transform your life. And third, leave a comment with the number 777. This number represents divine clarity, and by writing it, you are setting your intention to receive the wisdom that God is about to pour into you. Now take a deep breath and prepare yourself, because what you are about to learn will shift your understanding of life and faith. This is not just another message. This is a divine calling for you to wake up and see the truth beyond your own vision. Many people go through life thinking that what they see with their physical eyes is all that exists. They believe that if they can't see a solution, then there must not be one. They think that if they don't have the answers, then maybe God isn't working in their lives. But this kind of thinking is spiritual blindness. It keeps people trapped in doubt, fear, and uncertainty. Imagine walking in a dark room, searching for a way out, but unable to see the door that is right in front of you. That is what happens when you only rely on your human vision instead of asking God to reveal the deeper truth. The enemy wants to keep you blind. He wants you to focus on your problems instead of God's promises. He wants you to feel lost, hopeless, and confused, because when you cannot see the truth, you become vulnerable to lies. But God is calling you to something higher. He does not want you to live in confusion. He wants to remove the scales from your eyes and show you what is really happening. Maybe right now you feel stuck in a difficult situation. Maybe you've been praying for something, but you don't see any changes. You might even wonder if God is listening. But let me tell you this, just because you don't see a way doesn't mean God isn't making one. Think of a seed planted in the ground. When you look at the soil, it seems like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, that seed is taking root, growing and preparing to break through the soil. This is exactly how God works. Just because you don't see the process doesn't mean the transformation isn't happening. God is always working behind the scenes, aligning things in your favor. The enemy wants you to believe that if you can't see the answer, then the answer doesn't exist. But faith is about seeing with your spirit, not with your eyes. The greatest blessings are often hidden until the right moment, and if you lose faith before your eyes are opened, you may miss out on what God has prepared for you. This is why spiritual sight is so important. When God opens your eyes, you will begin to see things for what they really are. You will realize that your struggles were actually stepping stones. You will understand that every delay, every closed door, and every challenge had a divine purpose. The pain you endured was never wasted. It was shaping you into the person you were meant to become. Right now, there is a world beyond your physical sight, a spiritual realm where God is orchestrating your future. But in order to step into it, you must first let go of the belief that only what you see is real. It is time to ask God to remove the veil and show you the truth that has been hidden from your sight. When God opens your spiritual eyes, everything changes. You no longer react to life the way you used to. The things that once scared you no longer have power over you because you begin to see the bigger picture. You realize that every challenge is temporary, but God's plan for your life is eternal. Think about the story of Elisha and his servant in the Bible. They were surrounded by an army, and Elisha's servant was terrified. He could only see the danger in front of him. But Elisha, a man of God, could see something his servant could not. He prayed, "Lord, open his eyes so that he may see." And in that moment, the servant's eyes were opened, and he saw that they were not alone. A vast army of heavenly warriors was surrounding them. 2 Kings 6:17. This is the power of divine vision. Before his eyes were opened, the servant thought they were doomed. But once he saw the full picture, he realized that God had already provided the victory. This is what happens when God opens your eyes. You begin to see that you are not alone. You begin to understand that every battle has already been won in the spirit before it even manifests in the physical. What are the things in your life that seem impossible right now? What battles are making you feel overwhelmed? Maybe you've been looking at your situation through natural eyes, only seeing the challenges, the difficulties, and the obstacles. But what if God is already moving in ways you cannot see? When you receive divine vision, you stop panicking over temporary situations. You start moving with confidence, knowing that even when things look uncertain, God is in control. You no longer fear closed doors, because you trust that if one door closes, it's only because God is leading you to a better one. Divine vision is about trusting God, even when you don't understand. It's about knowing that just because you don't see the full picture yet, doesn't mean it isn't unfolding exactly as it should. Every challenge, every delay, every unexpected event, it's all part of a bigger plan that God has designed specifically for you. The moment you start praying, "Lord, open my eyes," you will begin to notice the shift. You will start seeing blessings where others see problems. You will see opportunities where others see obstacles. You will recognize God's hand in places you never expected. God's vision for your life is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. But you must be willing to see beyond what is in front of you. It's time to step into a higher level of faith, to embrace the unseen, and to trust that God is leading you exactly where you need to be. So ask yourself, are you ready to see the truth beyond your own vision? If so, open your heart, open your mind, and prepare for the incredible things that God is about to reveal to you. Your eyes are about to be opened, and your life will never be the same again. Many people live trapped in illusions, believing that what they see is all there is. They go through life thinking they are alone, unloved, or incapable of achieving their dreams. But these thoughts are not the truth. They are illusions designed to keep you blind to the power and purpose that God has placed inside you. The enemy is a master of deception. He works through fear, anxiety, and doubt to make you question your worth and your path. He wants you to believe that you are forgotten, that your prayers are unheard, that your life will never change. But here's the truth. Everything he tells you is a lie. The moment God opens your eyes, you will begin to see the falsehoods that have been controlling your life. Think about the people in your past who told you that you weren't good enough, that you would never succeed, or that your dreams were impossible. Those words planted seeds of doubt in your mind. Over time, those seeds grew into beliefs that shaped the way you saw yourself and your future. But today, God is breaking those illusions. He is opening your eyes to see yourself the way He sees you, strong, capable, and deeply loved. The world teaches you to chase after things that don't truly satisfy: money, fame, approval from others. But when God gives you divine vision, you begin to see that true fulfillment comes from alignment with His purpose. You no longer waste time pursuing things that leave you empty. Instead, you begin to focus on the things that bring lasting peace, joy, and success. There are people who walk around thinking they have everything figured out, but they are blind to spiritual truth. They put their trust in material things, in relationships, in their own understanding. But all of it is temporary. The only true foundation is God's wisdom and direction. Once your eyes are opened, you will see that everything you have been searching for was already inside you, waiting to be awakened. God is giving you the chance today to break free from the illusions that have held you back. The fear, the doubt, the lies, they have no power over you anymore. You are stepping into a new reality, one where you see life through God's eyes, not the world's deceptions. Once you recognize the truth, nothing will ever be the same again. One of the hardest things in life is trusting God when you don't understand what's happening. It's easy to have faith when everything is going well, but what about the moments when you feel lost? What about the times when your prayers seem unanswered, when doors keep closing, when life feels uncertain? This is where faith is truly tested. When you can't see a way forward, do you trust that God is still guiding you? When your plans fall apart, do you believe that God's plan is still in motion? There are moments in life when we feel like we're walking in the dark. We ask God for direction, but we don't see immediate answers. But just because we don't see the path doesn't mean it isn't there. Just because you don't feel change happening doesn't mean God isn't working behind the scenes. Think about the story of Joseph. He had a dream of greatness, but instead of rising to power immediately, he was betrayed, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for years. If Joseph had judged his future based on what he saw, he would have lost hope. But he trusted that God was still in control, even in the hardest moments. And in the end, God fulfilled every promise. Joseph was raised to a position of incredible power and became a blessing to nations. Your life is not random. Everything is connected. The setbacks, the delays, the unexpected changes, God is using all of it to shape you for your destiny. But if you only trust what you can see, you might think that God has abandoned you. That is why you must pray, Lord, open my eyes so I can trust your plan, even when I don't understand it. Faith is walking forward, even when the road is unclear. It's knowing that God never makes mistakes. You may not see the full picture now, but one day you will look back and understand why things had to happen the way they did. So until then, keep trusting, keep believing, and keep moving forward. God is guiding you even when you can't see it. Fear and doubt are two of the greatest obstacles to spiritual vision. When you allow fear to take root, it blinds you from seeing the possibilities that God has placed before you. Fear makes you hesitate when you should move forward. Doubt makes you question when you should trust. But today, God is breaking the chains of fear and doubt in your life. When Peter stepped out of the boat to walk on water, he was doing something impossible. As long as he kept his eyes on Jesus, he walked in the supernatural. But the moment he focused on the waves, fear took over, and he began to sink. This is exactly what happens when we allow fear and doubt to rule our hearts. Fear magnifies the problem. Faith magnifies the solution. When you focus on what's wrong, your troubles seem bigger than they really are. But when you focus on God, you realize that no situation is too big for Him to handle. Doubt is the enemy's weapon to keep you from stepping into your destiny. He whispers in your mind, what if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? But here's what you need to know. God never calls you to something without giving you the strength to accomplish it. The moment you replace doubt with faith, doors begin to open, opportunities begin to appear, and miracles start unfolding in your life. God is saying to you today, do not fear, trust me, keep your eyes on me, and you will not sink. The storm around. You may be loud, but your faith must be louder. The doubts in your mind may try to shake you, but your trust in God must be stronger. When you allow faith to lead, you stop being controlled by fear. You step into the unknown with confidence, knowing that God is walking ahead of you. Even when the future seems uncertain, you will stand firm because you know that God's promises never fail. Fear has no place in your life anymore. Doubt has no power over you. God is opening your eyes to see the truth, that you are stronger than you think, that you are capable of more than you imagined, and that you are never alone. So today, make a decision. Will you walk by faith or by fear? Will you trust in what God is showing you, or will you allow doubt to hold you back? The choice is yours, but know this: God is ready to lead you into a future greater than anything you have ever dreamed of. All He asks is that you trust Him, even when you can't see the way forward. Because the moment you choose faith over fear, everything changes. There is a reason for everything happening in your life right now. Every situation, whether good or bad, has a divine purpose. The problem is that most people only see the surface of their struggles. They ask, "Why is this happening to me?" instead of, "What is God teaching me through this?" But when your spiritual eyes are opened, you begin to realize that nothing is wasted in God's plan. Many times, the things we think are setbacks are actually setups for something greater. The job you lost, the relationship that ended, the opportunity that slipped away. These moments may have felt painful, but what if God was using them to position you for something better? What if the closed doors were never rejections but redirections? Joseph was thrown into a pit and sold into slavery by his own brothers. In the moment, it must have seemed like the worst thing that could happen to him. But what Joseph couldn't see at the time was that this betrayal would eventually lead him to the palace. If he hadn't been sold, he wouldn't have been in the right place at the right time to become a ruler in Egypt. What seemed like a tragedy was actually a part of God's greater plan. This is how God works in our lives. He allows us to go through challenges not to break us, but to build us. Every struggle is preparing you for something bigger. Every delay is aligning you with the right timing. What feels like confusion today will make sense tomorrow. When God opens your eyes, you begin to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" you start asking, "Lord, what are you revealing to me in this season?" The more you seek to understand, the more God will show you the hidden purpose behind everything you've been through. God's plan is greater than your pain. Your trials are not wasted. They are shaping you into the person you were meant to become. Trust that everything is working together for your good. The world is full of false narratives, messages that tell you that you are not enough, that you will never be successful, that life is about material wealth and status. But these are lies. The world operates on fear, scarcity, and deception, while God's truth is based on love, abundance, and faith. If you allow the world to shape your beliefs, you will always feel like you are lacking something. You will compare yourself to others, chase after things that do not fulfill you, and live in a constant state of anxiety. But the moment you start seeing with spiritual eyes, you realize that you already have everything you need within you. The enemy uses distractions to keep you from seeing the truth. He fills your mind with worries, self-doubt, and confusion so that you never realize the power God has placed inside of you. But when God removes the blindfold, you start to see your worth. You start to understand that you are loved, chosen, and destined for greatness. The world tells you that success comes from working harder and striving for recognition. But God says that success comes from trusting Him and walking in your divine purpose. The world says that you must fight for your place, but God says that your place has already been prepared for you. It's time to stop listening to the lies of the world and start believing in God's truth. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. When you embrace this reality, you will walk in peace, knowing that God's plan is far greater than anything the world could offer. Confidence is not about how much you know, how successful you are, or how many people approve of you. True confidence comes from knowing who you are in God. When you have spiritual vision, you move differently. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop doubting your worth. You stop hesitating when God tells you to step forward. Think about how a child walks when they know their parents are right beside them. They are fearless because they trust that they are safe. This is how God wants you to walk through life, with the unshakable confidence that He is guiding your every step. When you know that God is in control, you no longer fear failure. You understand that every setback is a setup, every delay has a purpose, and every challenge is an opportunity for growth. You stop worrying about what people think of you because you are walking in divine alignment. But confidence requires faith. You must trust that even when you can't see the full picture, God is leading you exactly where you need to go. The enemy will try to make you doubt yourself, but remember, you are chosen, you are equipped, you are ready. Walk forward boldly. Your vision is clear, your purpose is set, and your destiny is unfolding before you. Now that you have received this message, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, Am I truly seeing life the way God wants me to? Have you been walking by sight, relying only on what you can see and understand? Or are you ready to walk by faith, trusting that God's plan is greater than your own? God is calling you to a higher level of awareness. He wants you to see beyond the distractions, the struggles, and the illusions of this world. He wants you to step into a new way of thinking, a new way of believing, a new way of living. Right now, pray this simple prayer. Lord, open my eyes. Remove every blindfold that has kept me from seeing your truth. Show me the purpose in my struggles, the wisdom in my waiting, and the victory in my battles. I surrender my vision to you and trust that your plan is greater than anything I could ever imagine. Amen. From this moment on, expect clarity, expect breakthroughs, expect divine guidance, because when your spiritual eyes are opened, nothing can ever be the same again. This is your time. Step forward in faith, trust in God's vision, and walk in the fullness of the life He has prepared for you. Your eyes are open. Now go and see what God has in store for you.